So I wanted to have some more composing related folk content on this channel, apart from just showing off pieces. So I wanted you to have like a kind of an inside the mind of a composer related to my double bass concerto. So I'm writing a double bass concerto just for the accompaniment. It's just a piano, since I don't really have the skills yet to orchestrate. So it's just a piano for now. So I have the first, third, and second movements in some form, but I only have the first and third movements on this PC. So I'll just play a couple of sections and then talk about them. So yeah, that was the opening, and it sort of this idea of like an arpeggio up and then a descent with tied 16 notes. So I kind of the like two tied 16 notes kind of continues on, and also this theme comes back later on. And that's something I've been working on, like how do I develop motifs, how can I appear along in the piece in multiple different forms, and kind of like transfiguring them and changing them up while still being recognizable point, or even doing them unrecognizable but still being the same motive. And I really admire Beethoven's Fifth Symphony for this, since it drags that motive throughout the entire symphony, which is quite the task, and it's kind of fun when you hear it, especially since it's such a famous motive. And I really encourage any composer who wants to work on motive development to explore the Fifth Symphony, since that's a masterwork and definitely a great piece to highlight that kind of composing. So one issue I had working on this piece is a friend told me that they didn't like the constant barrage of 16 notes. So I decided I need to add some lyrical parts in between, and that's something I've really had issue with. Like, I'm no stranger to composing more lyrical melodies, but for some reason I just can't bring myself to compose them like going like barrages of 16 notes as something lyrical. I probably need to steal some melodies from myself that could work here that are in 6/8 or 3/4 or something, since just when I'm working on this piece, for some reason, all the lyrical aspects of me just kind of disappear, and I can't write anything that sounds half decent. And that's one issue that I've been having. And I guess the solution would be just compose something beforehand in 6/8 in F major or whatever the key is in. So that was a bit of the first movement. Now here's the third. So that's some of what I already have, but with a few things that I need to change is definitely I asked my teacher if this is too low for kind of concerto, and they said, yeah, in solo stuff you can have stuff like this, but low register stuff, especially fast, um, ideas like this, though you don't really speak out against an orchestra or even just against the piano. So probably need to put this up an octave and then swap them, change them a little bit so they aren't as challenging to play. Then another thing I've been working on is connecting ideas, the idea of the musical transition, and this is something that I'm probably going to be grappling with for the rest of my life, as all composers have, since we rarely just have one idea smoothly flowing into another, or just one idea for the whole piece. That just so that you don't need any transition. This is just one idea, one thing, and a transition is from this kind of multiple butcher bit to this kind of accompaniment thing in 6/8 was okay. I wanted to do this rise and fall, and then I need to get up back up here since I feel like going straight from this low register kind of multiple butcher thing like this straight to here would have been a bit too jarring. So first off, we need to kind of switch up the rhythm since that's clearly different and need to change registers. So do the things that need to change. So I went down, and this is kind of like, this is more divided into four. This kind of an idea, it could be in 3/4 even, since it's 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. But here it's 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So that's the thing that needs to change. So I thought, okay, we can do those kind of together. So first I put triplets going up, kind of triads, then switch it to 16 notes, but even giving the same kind of triad shape. Then boom, the 6/8. Even then I feel like I could have done it better, but that's one idea. So we need to switch the register and kind of the grouping. And I'm not sure if I succeeded in that, since this is clearly in 4, groups of 4. Maybe if it was like and then maybe that would work. If it was like something like this. If it was something like that, that would actually work way better, since it kind of has the same idea. So let's listen to it now. So I feel like that sounds more natural. Then yeah, a good thing when you're composing something for multiple players is to give them each a moment in time, even if it's just like an accompanist. You really sort of think of it as, oh, the real star here is the soloist, and then the accompanist just kind of gives them a moment to shine. I feel like you should really just give some kind of quote unquote obligato to the accompanist. So even though you could see this as a melody, I think of it more as accompaniment, and I'm gonna put up a melody on top of this in the piano. So yeah, there's a bit of an overview of what I've done so far. So things I need to work on is the balance between hectic and like fast parts with balancing lyricism, and then kind of this interplay between the soloist and the accompanist. Since I'm going this kind of double bass first approach, it might be kind of challenging since I want to have an idea of what the double bass is doing first, and then kind of fit the accompanist into that. But I can't really have that much interplay if I don't compose interplay here. Like, for example, one way to do that is to give clear pauses where you know, okay, the soloist gives a proposes a question and the accompanist answers. Like this could be one, like arpeggio, hold a note, and then the accompanist answers with an arpeggio and a held note. That's what I did in my double bass oboe duet, which I should probably overview some other time as well. So yeah, hope you like this, and and tell me if you want something more like this in the future, since I have tons of compositions I could give a pretty quick overview on, and it's nice to see for you guys to see some of my compositions even when they aren't really done yet. You're gonna have kind of get inside my head and figure out how I kind of compose and some other things. So yeah, if you like this, really like and tell me what you think about it. And if you'd like something more organized rather than me just rambling while looking at MuseScore, please also tell me. So thank you for watching.